Alrighty, so next thing we want to cover here is in the setup area. Let's just go down the list here from on the configuration side. Okay, so we did touch on, or we're about to touch on contacts and accounts in terms of the stages and the mapping. Now, on the contact side, though, I do want to touch just briefly again on the custom fields here. So these are very important fields because they're all able to be dynamically captured and inserted into your messages, templates, or snippets, right? So very, very high value information here. Now, you can also, as you can see here, map all of these fields over to your CRM's mirroring field, right? So not only did I create a field in Apollo for, let's just say, average price per unit of Botox, right? I also set up a Salesforce corresponding field so that when I fill in this field here, it's going to push right over to Salesforce and vice versa, right? So if we have an opportunity that the account executive team is working on and they go in and make a change, that change should be reflected on the Apollo side so that the sales development team or pre-sales team can understand, A, what has happened, B, what does that mean for us, C, what are our next action items, right? Without this bidirectional sync, you'll have SDRs reaching out to accounts that just had a closed opportunity, or even worse, you'll have SDRs reaching out way too late relative to when an opportunity closed. Let's say that your average lead time from op close to follow up is 6 months, right? If you don't have this information in front of the SDR's eyeballs, it's going to be trickier and almost unfair to expect that they're on top of this as much as they would be if they're looking at it every day, right? So that's the idea here. The fields work the same exact way as a Salesforce field works. They just need to be in the same data type. Other than that, mapping is a breeze. Okay. Now, same idea on the account side, right? Like you can see here, we have like specific fields that are not included in the default on the account side for Apollo. So we have the ability to go ahead and create those. We also can map those to a Salesforce account. Okay. Same thing on the opportunity side. And we're going to cover these stages later on. But they're going to play the same exact role as they do on the contact and account side. Okay, so again, going to cover that in a minute. Just wanted to touch on those briefly. So calls, super important here. The dispositions, right? Now, where does this come into play, right? It comes into play around the automation with calls. So if we go to our tasks that are due here, and let's just say we pick up a call task, right? Let me just see here. Do I have any of those? Yes, I do. Okay, so if I come over to a call task, right, and I go into click and I select the disposition of owner, qualified, and positive, right? Now, let's just think through this, everybody. Owner, qualified, positive probably means that we spoke with the right person, right? They have the right criteria or characteristics about people that we want to partner with, and they're interested as well. That's that last piece, that positive, right? So thinking through this logically, if we have somebody that fits all of those criteria and they're in a sequence and they just got a call and we spoke with them and they said, hey, let's chat next Tuesday. Do we want to leave them in that sequence that is a pre-sale sequence? The answer is no, right? We don't want to do that. So not only are these dispositions important so that we can track and report, right, on the types of calls that we're having, right? So if I were to say, show me all the prospecting calls that have a disposition of, I don't know, not qualified, right? I can filter all of that here, obviously. But the real value for us on the call side is going to be the triggers that relate to each of these, okay? So a couple things to note here first. Anything that is connected, right? Connected. These are going to automatically remove that prospect from that sequence and all other sequences, okay? That's the default kind of stage here. Now, when do we do that? And I'll give you this example here, right? If it's no answer, we're obviously not connected. Voicemail, same. Gatekeeper left message. Now, gatekeeper not qualified. Let's talk about this. We didn't speak with the right person, but we did speak with somebody. We got information that led us to know that this is not a qualified contact or company, right? So we should connect that, and then that'll automatically remove those prospects from our sequences, right? That is so important in not necessarily this stage here, the not qualified one, right? Because these are not potential meetings or at least short-term meetings. But if you come down to here and you have an owner qualified positive and you're still sending your sales emails out to them after they're waiting to have a meeting with you next week, you're in trouble. You're almost dead, right? So similar idea here with the rest of these. Now, the first piece here is connected, remove, not connected, don't remove, right? But what if we wanted to get a little bit more intricate with it, right? So we can also set our contact stages based on the disposition stages of these calls, okay? Meaning if I wanted to say gatekeeper not qualified is not interested, right? I have a specific set of plays or actions for this not interested stage, right? That is going to be different from connected or not connected, right? This allows me to be more nimble and get a little bit more in the weeds here. Like if I have a positive here, right, I'm going to go interested. But if I have a left message, right, I'm probably going to say something like either still approaching or unresponsive if it's at the end of the sequence. Okay. Now, when we get into plays, I'm going to show you guys why this is super important, because what really we're doing here, if you just break it down, we're taking a binary outcome of connected or not connected, right? Which is great and super helpful. Connected leaves the sequence, not connected stays in the sequence. But then we're saying, okay, let's break down the types of connected, right? Are there more valuable connected? Are there different actions we need to take for certain types of connections? The answer is yes, obviously, right? This allows us to do that. But the automatic pull and push of contacts from sequences, that's based on this connected, not connected, and then you get nice and intricate down here, okay? So I'm going to pause this here for now, and then we can get into personas and schedules next. Thank you.